You have something special. You have greatness in you. I've heard it said that there's some things you can't see looking forward, but you can only see looking backwards. I've been known for speaking and changing people's lives all around the world, using my voice and the ability to tell a story in all types of situations. I often talk about the fact that I'm here because of two women. One gave me life, that's a person that I had never seen. And one gave me love, that's the person here holding me and my twin brother, Mrs. Mamie Brown. God took me out of my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. And I had no idea, being raised in poverty. We were poor, but we didn't know we were poor. And something in me, I don't know exactly when it happened, but I remember one day when I went to an event and I saw Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. speak in Miami. And I went to see Malcolm X. And I was so moved by their oratorical skills, I said, I want to do that. I was so impressed with Malcolm X that I went to school the next day and said that my name was Leslie X. And the teacher called my mother, Mrs. Mamie Brown, and that was the end of that. She beat that X out of me. But I used my voice as a radio personality. And there was something just kept driving me. I organized demonstrations in Columbus, Ohio, and led demonstrations against police deadly use of force and police brutality that ultimately led to my getting fired in the 70s, and led groups of over 5,000 in the morning in the snow. I became a state representative elected to the Ohio legislature. I was elected 3 terms, a chairman of the Education Committee and Human Resource Committee, passed 14 bills my first term, using my voice. I resigned when my adopted mother was diagnosed with breast cancer and fulfilled my promise that she would never go into a nursing home, and I came back home to take care of her. Using my voice, I became a community activist in Miami, Florida, and once again, fighting against things that were maintaining our detriment, using my voice. I developed a reputation and was invited to speak at Harvard University. I became a compelling speaker and known for telling stories, and selected by the National Speakers Association and given their highest award, the CPAE Award, Council Peers of Excellence, using my voice. I received the highest award from Toastmasters International, the Golden Gavel Award. I was selected among the top 5 speakers in the world: General Norman Schwarzkopf, Leah Iacocca, Robert Schuller, Paul Harvey, and myself. I often wondered, where did I get this from? They said some things nature and some things nurture. I was paid $5 million to do a talk show, The Les Brown Show. I had no idea. Where did this gift come from? I often thought, did I get it from my father, or did I get it from my mother? I've spoken on platforms with Richard Branson in South Africa, Robert Kiyosaki, and other top speakers from around the world. And my oldest son went on a search unbeknownst to me, and through some research found my birth parents and discovered that my grandmother, Beulah Rucker, who was a motivational speaker and educator, and she started a school. She taught herself to read and listen. Articles said she was hungry to learn. So hungry, she taught herself the alphabet and how to read with newspaper that was used to insulate the walls of the cabin that she stayed in to keep the cold winter air out. And she went to a school, and the day that she had to register, she had no money, and she stood before the head of the school and held out both her hands. And when he asked, "Where's your money?" and she said, "These hands can work." And he sent her down the line. And she came back, being persistent, because she was hungry to learn, and said once again, "These hands can work." And he looked at her, and I'm sure there was something in his mind that said, she is not going to be denied. And he let her in the school, and she worked for him and other instructors at the school, and she graduated with honors and went back to Gainesville, Georgia, and taught veterans and people in the community, adults and children, how to read, and taught them how to teach others how to read, and taught them how to be hungry to learn. See, this thing called life, if you're not willing to learn, no one can help you. But if you're willing to learn, no one can stop you. And they develop all types of skills that will allow them to become entrepreneurs and control their own future. My grandmother. And that which was in her, she obviously passed it on to my mother, Dorothy Bell. And my mother, she was a motivational speaker like her mother. And she traveled all over Georgia and the country speaking, and she played the piano, and she sang, and she had a bubbly personality, and she loved helping people. I wondered where I got this gift from, and now I know. And so my oldest son, unbeknownst to me, went on a search for his grandparents, and he found them, pictures of them. And I talked to a brother that I did not know I had, and went to the Beulah Rucker Museum, my grandmother. I called him and I said, "Dorothy Bell is my mother." And he said, "Well, that's my mother too, so that makes us brothers." And I went there to visit him, and I got to the museum first. And all I could say to myself was, I found them, and now I know why I am who I am, where I came from, and where I got my voice from. Oh, I feel like Mother Teresa, who said, "Just when I thought I got a handle on life, the handle broke." This discovery opened up a whole new world for me. To God be the glory.
It's a long shot, ladies and gentlemen, from Liberty City, an abandoned building on a floor. Never knowing my mother or father. It's a long shot. Being here with you today in this dome in Atlanta, it's a long shot. No college training, labeled educable, mentally retarded, but I kept running toward my dream. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop running toward your dream.